Allegiant is promising to fight back after a shocking report by 60 Minutes. The airline is known for its low fares, but it also has earned a reputation for safety problems. Now, the 60 Minutes report has a lot of you talking, and so we want to know, how do you feel about flying Allegiant Airlines?
Let us know what you think. Go to WTSP.com/YourSayTampa or tap on the Your Say section of the 10 News app. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how safe do you feel flying Allegiant Airlines? 1 for not safe at all, 10 for completely safe. 60 Minutes' 7-month investigation found an alarming number of aborted takeoffs, cabin pressure loss, emergency descents, and unscheduled landings. Passengers shared some of their experiences.
I'll never forget this, the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life. Captain comes on and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we've been informed there's smoke in the cabin. Please start breathing through your shirts."
Through your shirt?
Yeah.
Was it hard to breathe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
couldn't.
The crying flight attendants walking around kind of blindly.
Not making eye contact.
Yeah, not making eye contact, blindly handing out wet cocktail napkins.
She's just
and
crying.
saying, "Breathe through this."
He came on and he said, "The mechanics have been working on this right engine. We apologize for that. We'll get you up in the air as soon as possible." As we started taxiing, everything was going okay, and then it's like as soon as the wheels came up, the engine blew.
Here we go. We're taking off. Say black. Oh.
The force of it was so hard that it popped open the cockpit doors, and there was smoke in the cabin and fire coming out of that engine.
Can you imagine?
You saw the fire.
That is terrifying.
Wow.
Now, that investigation found more than 100 serious incidents involving mechanical issues. Now, Allegiant is calling the report a false narrative.
Allegiant is by far the biggest carrier at St. Pete Clearwater Airport. That's why, long before the 60 Minute story, 10 News has done a series of investigations citing safety concerns. 10 News reporter Eric Glasser is taking a look at this most recent criticism and whether it and passengers' concerns are warranted.
Within hours of that alarming 60 Minute story, the Allegiant Airlines ticket counter at St. Pete Clearwater International was packed. Passengers' top concern?
Mainly the prices.
Some had seen the scathing report, some were unaware until we told them about it.
I'm more nervous now. Thank you.
Regardless, the 60 Minute story found Allegiant, the target of a 2015 FAA investigation, was 3.5 times more likely to have mid-air breakdowns than other carriers.
Here we go. We're taking off. Say black. Oh.
Allegiant says the incidents cited by the report were outdated, although 60 Minutes did look at another 100 incidents between early 2016 and late 2017.
These are things you and I have discussed over the last year and a half.
10 News aviation expert Mark Weinkrantz saw the report too. Not a lot of new information, he says.
They did cover, however, that a lot of the issues with maintenance in the past were with the older aircraft.
Allegiant has sent letters to employees and passengers calling the report negative, outdated, instigated by a terminated employee. In fairness, Allegiant's safety record is improving. Fewer incidents thanks to replacing much of its aging, less reliable MD-80 fleet with new Airbus jets.
The Airbuses are state-of-the-art. They analyze themselves.
There's also been a sharp, some might say less than coincidental, decline in problems being reported by Allegiant pilots ever since the union got its new contract.
One of the best ways to get attention for your cause is to talk about, as an airline pilot, is to talk about issues that might threaten safety and how the pilots are the only ones that are there to protect you and they need to be compensated.
If St. Pete Clearwater International Airport is any indication, then the effects of the 60 Minutes report may not be very long-lasting. Folks here have had similar information about Allegiant Airlines for months, if not years. Yet passenger loads in 2017 were up 12%, the airport topping the 2 million passenger mark for the first time ever. In Clearwater, Eric Glasser, 10 News.
All of Allegiant's aircraft at St. Pete Clearwater Airport are now those new Airbus jets. And our aviation expert says that if you fly one of the airline's newer airplanes, you actually can feel comfortable with that. If it's one of the older pieces of equipment, he suggests that you might want to look for something more reliable. And this is getting so much conversation from everyone.
It is. And despite all of those stories, when we shared the 60 Minutes report on our Facebook page, you all commented, and a lot of those comments were really defending the airline.
Really?
So yeah, let me show you a few of those. Pat, you said, have flown Allegiant more times than I can count and never a problem. The other airlines can't stand it because their prices are affordable. No problem here. Redonda, you agree, saying great fun airline, have flown them probably 100 times and will probably 100 times more. One-sided news, hashtag Allegiant rocks. But Lynn, you shared your own Allegiant horror story. Was on one that lost an engine on takeoff. We heard a very loud bang and thought we blew a tire. The captain aborted. It took them a couple of hours to pick up engine parts from the runway. And Johnny, you said something most of us can agree with. Flying in general is an aggravation to me. It doesn't matter what airlines I fly. We've been asking for what you think about this on Your Say Tampa Bay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how safe would you feel flying Allegiant? Right now, the audience average is 3. You can keep those votes coming in.
Florida Senator Bill Nelson is calling for an investigation into how the Federal Aviation Administration handled Allegiant safety incidents. He's the top Democrat on the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation, which oversees airlines. Nelson says, quote, the traveling public deserves to know whether the FAA is conducting thorough safety oversight of Allegiant.